I first noticed it on a Tuesday. Trash day. My wife, Danny, was outside in yoga pants she hadn't worn since last summer, the ones she used to say were too tight for the neighbors. Suddenly, that wasn't a problem anymore. She was leaning over the fence, talking to Rob, our next-door neighbor. Married. 2 kids. Wife out of town. Again. Nothing major. Just a laugh too loud. A hand brushing his arm too long. But it didn't feel casual. Not to me. I stepped out onto the porch, pretending to look for a package. Rob looked up first. Gave me the classic guy wave, chin tilt, half smile. Danny didn't look at me at all. That night, I asked her how her day was. She mentioned the gym. Groceries. Didn't mention Rob. I waited. Nothing. Talked to anyone? I asked. Not really, she said. Eyes on her phone. Just kept it quiet today. I filed that away. 2 days later, I saw him again. Only this time, I wasn't supposed to. I had come home early. She didn't hear the garage door. When I walked around back to let the dog out, I saw them through the kitchen window. She was laughing, really laughing, head back, hand on his chest. He touched her waist. Just for a second. And that's all it took. I didn't confront her. I didn't say a word. I just walked inside, said hi, kissed her cheek, and waited for her to tell me. She didn't. That night, she initiated. Sex, aggressive, fast, like she was proving something. But her eyes were somewhere else the whole time. I started watching after that. Not stalking. Just noticing. Her phone never left her hand. She started showering at strange hours. She kept the screen tilted, slight angle, not obvious, but enough. One morning, while she was still asleep, I checked her location history. It had a ping at Rob's address from 2 nights before, while I was at a late meeting. She said she went for a walk. Sure she did. But the real twist? The next day, I found her on the driveway. Rob's wife, Maya. She was standing there in workout clothes, holding a cup of coffee and staring at my house like she could see through the walls. I walked out to get the mail. She didn't move. Morning, I said. Yeah, she said. I still fixed forward. Beautiful day to get cheated on, isn't it? I stopped walking. She finally turned her head and looked me dead in the eyes. It's Danny, right? And Rob. I nodded once. You know. I know enough. She took a sip. So what are you going to do about it? Don't know yet. Well, she said, when you figure it out. She handed me a napkin with her number on it. Text me. Maybe we can make things interesting. Then she turned and walked back to her house. And for the first time in weeks, I smiled. I texted Maya that night. Simple. You free to talk? She replied 2 minutes later. Front porch. No lights. When I walked over, she was already there. Hoodie, bare legs, bottle of whiskey balanced between her knees. She handed me the bottle like we were old friends. You didn't ask if I was sure. Didn't think I had to. Good. That's one lie off the table. We sat in silence for a while. Our houses sat 20 feet apart. 2 perfect little homes, neat yards, shared fences, and apparently, shared lies. How long do you think it's been going on? She asked. Weeks. Months maybe. Mine too. You confront him? Tried. He gaslit me. Said I was projecting my own guilt. She took another sip. I haven't cheated on anyone in my entire life. Closest I ever got was a fantasy about slamming a frying pan into his teeth. We both laughed, a little too hard. You want proof? I asked. I've got enough. I've got location data, deleted messages pulled from our iPad sync. Even a screen grab of her calendar marked morning run. Same day he didn't come home until 11 a.m. He told me he was working overtime. Left the house in gym clothes. We locked eyes. So what now? She asked. I don't know about you, I said, but I'm not here to cry on anyone's shoulder. Good. I'm not offering one. That's when she stood up. Walked to the edge of the porch. Turned back toward me with that half smile, the kind that says I've already made up my mind. You know what would really piss them off? What? If we didn't just survive this. If we enjoyed it. The next morning, I sent Danny a text. Maya asked me to help her fix a fence post in their backyard this weekend. Oh, nice, she replied. She's sweet. Probably lonely with Rob working so much. I bet she is. Bet Saturday, I walked into their backyard with a hammer and 2 beers. We didn't fix a damn thing. We just stood there, next to the cracked post, laughing like idiots while Danny peeked through the blinds and Rob's truck sat in the driveway like a ghost. Later that night, Maya texted me a photo. Us, smiling. Her hand casually on my chest. Danny was visible in the background, inside our house. Maya's caption? Let's see how they like blurred lines. I should have felt guilty, but all I felt was focus. Because this wasn't about rebound hookups or trying to out-cheat them. This was about control. About showing two liars that they weren't the only ones who could play dirty without saying a word. The first time we touched wasn't planned. It wasn't seductive or slow. It was instinct. We were at a neighborhood barbecue 3 doors down. Danny was there, wearing a low-cut dress she hadn't touched in months. Rob stood beside her, hand on the small of her back like he'd earned the right to be proud of something he'd stolen. They weren't trying to hide it anymore. We weren't either. Maya walked over to me mid-conversation with one of the dads. She linked her arm through mine and leaned close. You bored yet? She whispered. Wasn't invited to be entertained. You were invited to be watched. I looked across the yard. Danny's eyes were locked on us. Not blinking. Not smiling. That night, Maya came by to borrow something. She picked a stupid excuse, sugar, or maybe wine. I don't even remember. She never made it past the front door. 1 minute we were standing in the hallway. Next, her lips were on mine. Hard. No pretense. No games. Just the kind of kiss that says, we earned this rage. We made it to the couch. Clothes half off, breath hot, the kind of heat that comes not from love, but from knowing exactly what betrayal feels like and choosing to answer it on your own terms. It didn't feel like cheating. It felt like justice. Afterward, we didn't say much. She got dressed slowly, quietly, then turned to me, brushing her hair back like none of it rattled her. Still sure this is just about revenge? No. Good. She kissed me again, slower this time, then walked out. 2 hours later, Danny came home. Hair up. Smelled like someone else's cologne masked with citrus perfume. She didn't look at me when she walked in. Didn't ask where I'd been. Just went straight to the shower. While she was in there, I checked the bathroom trash. New condom wrapper. Not ours. She hadn't even bothered to hide it. I didn't confront her. Not yet. I just sat on the edge of the bed, hands clasped, heart steady. Because we weren't fighting over a marriage anymore. That was dead. What we were fighting for now was the high ground. Next door, Rob's truck pulled in late. Maya was already on the porch waiting for him. They exchanged words, quiet, sharp. He gestured. She pointed. He stepped forward. She stepped back. I couldn't hear it, but I didn't need to. That was the look of a man who just realized his side piece had found her own. He slept in the guest room that night. I know because I watched his bedroom light stay off while hers glowed until 2 a.m. She didn't message me, but I knew what she was doing. Same thing I was. Planning the next move. 3 days after we slept together, Maya sent me a text. You free tonight? I've got an idea. I was. She showed up at my door an hour later wearing a zip-up hoodie, no makeup, and that quiet expression that said she'd already made peace with doing something that couldn't be undone. She didn't sit. Just walked over to the table and unrolled a printed map of our block. We're not just getting even, she said. We're going to corner them. She marked 2 houses on the map. Ours. Theirs. Then drew a line connecting them, the path Danny walked every time she took a jog around the neighborhood. She cuts through her yard, Maya said. Rob lets her in through the gate. You're sure? We have cameras. That caught me off guard. Wait. You've been recording them? She nodded. Motion sensor clips. Autosave to cloud. I never watched them until last week. She showed me. No full-on sex, no smoking gun. But hugs that lasted too long. Hands on hips. His shirtless silhouette letting her into the side door at 11:42 p.m. We had enough. Enough for their friends to raise eyebrows. Enough for lawyers to start asking questions. Enough to make them sweat. So what's the plan? I asked. She grinned. We build a box. Let them think they're in control. Then lock it behind them. That Friday, we staged a double date. Invited them over. All 4 of us. Backyard drinks, grilled steaks, nothing heavy. Rob showed up cocky. Danny was fake sweet. They weren't suspicious. Not yet. They thought we were all working things out. Trying to move forward. So we leaned in. Acted friendly. Clinked glasses. Took a group selfie. Rob made a toast. To forgetting mistakes and making new memories. Maya nearly choked on her wine laughing. At one point, Maya leaned in and whispered, "Tell her you're working late Monday night." "Why?" "Because she'll go straight to him. And that's when we catch them. Together." The next morning, I left a fake work memo on the counter, "Late shift Monday. Back after midnight." Danny saw it. Didn't say a word. Just smiled and nodded like she was happy to have the house to herself. Rob left at his usual time that Monday, tool belt, work boots, routine perfect. Maya waited. Watched from her car parked down the street. At 8:17 p.m., Danny slipped out our back door. Black leggings. Hoodie. No bag. She didn't walk to the gym. She cut straight through the back gate and disappeared into Rob's house. Maya sent me the photo at 8:23. Caption. Caught. We didn't bust in. We didn't scream. We waited. Let the guilt stew. Let them believe they were still smarter than us. Because when you're playing for power, timing is everything. And they just set their own trap. The day after Danny snuck into Rob's house, I sat across from her at breakfast like nothing happened. She sipped her coffee, told me about some influencer she was so done with, rolled her eyes like her night hadn't been spent in someone else's bed. I nodded, laughed, kissed her forehead. "Glad you're finally relaxing again," I said. She smiled, wide and soft. "Thanks, babe." She didn't ask about Monday night. Didn't ask why my car was still warm when I came home. Because cheaters don't want details. They just want distance. Maya was already one step ahead. She downloaded the footage, edited it, and clipped it into a perfect 30-second reel. 8:17 p.m., Danny slipping through the back gate. 8:19, entering Rob's side door. 11:06, exiting with messy hair, barefoot. 11:08, Rob walking her back, shirtless, and kissing her cheek at the fence. No audio. Didn't need any. We weren't keeping it for ourselves. We had a list. 3 couples in the neighborhood who used to host wine nights with Rob and Danny. 2 of Danny's friends from her gym, the ones who always said, "You two are goals." Maya's sister, who'd always suspected Rob was full of shit. And 1 mutual friend, his name was Jordan, who both of them had vented us separately, never realizing he was taking notes. We made a Dropbox link, uploaded the video, added a note. "Before you hear the fake version, here's the real one. Thought you deserved the truth." No signature. No warning. We had sinned. At 3:17 p.m., Danny called me. I didn't pick up. At 3:24, Rob showed up at Maya's front door. She answered holding a phone. Didn't speak. Just pressed play. 30 seconds of footage. Then closed the door in his face. By 4 o'clock, the group chat they'd used to coordinate barbecues and wine tastings had imploded. One neighbor texted me. "Jesus Christ. I thought you were the one cheating." Another. "Tell Maya she's a legend." We didn't answer any of them. We weren't after a round of applause. This wasn't for show. It was about watching 2 people, 2 smug liars, realize the stage they'd been performing on was ours all along. That night, Danny tried to talk. Cornered me in the hallway with tear-lined eyes. I didn't mean for it to go that far. How far was it supposed to go? It was just a stupid mistake. You've been making the same mistake for 3 months. She swallowed hard. Can we fix this? I looked her straight in the face. Why would I fix what I already replaced? She didn't cry. She went cold. Turned. Grabbed her keys. Walked out. I didn't stop her. Across the yard, Maya watched from her porch. We didn't say anything. Just raised our drinks to each other and sat in the quiet. Because sometimes the cleanest revenge is letting them bury themselves in the silence they earned. Danny moved out that weekend. No speech. No apology. Just a frantic, silent collection of things, drawers emptied into suitcases, hangers ripped off the rack. She didn't even ask for help. She didn't want conversation. She wanted escape. She left behind the framed photos. The mugs we got from a trip she lied about being too sick to join. The wedding album I already shredded. She paused once at the front door, keys in her hand. I watched from the kitchen. You're really just letting me go? You let go first. She stared at me like she didn't understand the rules had changed. I loved you. I didn't even laugh. I just nodded toward the door. She left. And for the first time in months, the house didn't feel haunted. Maya called that night. He's lawyering up. Let him. He's fighting for the house. Let him try. Because what Rob didn't know The deed was in her father's name, a gift from before the marriage. Rob hadn't paid a cent. And the prenup? Maya had it in a fireproof folder, signed and dated, with clauses that made adultery a fast track to nothing. By Wednesday, Rob had packed a bag and moved into his cousin's guest room. He texted Maya 3 times. "Can we talk? I made a mistake. Don't throw it all away." She didn't reply. Instead, she posted a photo of a keychain, her house keys, -1. Caption: "You don't lose people. You get revealed to them." Meanwhile, Danny had moved into a studio downtown. I know because she Venmo'd me $600 labeled, "For ruining everything." I declined, then blocked her. We didn't celebrate. Maya and I weren't gloating or playing house. We were calm, strategic. She changed the locks. I scrubbed the shared accounts and forwarded the bank statements to my attorney. The old life was over, and not one of them saw it coming until we were already on the other side of it. That weekend, Maya came over. No dinner, no plan. Just walked in like it was her house too. We sat on the couch, both quiet for a while. "It's weird," she said. "All those years pretending to be the good wife. Turns out I'm better at being honest. Honest looks good on you." She smiled. "So what now? Now we make sure they stay gone." And we meant it. Because this wasn't about getting even anymore. It was about never letting anyone like them walk through our doors again. The moment she walked out, I called my attorney. Not to file for divorce. I'd already done that the week before. This was about the house. I'd been preparing for this for months. Ever since I saw her hand graze Rob's chest over the fence, I started making moves she never noticed. First, I refinanced the house quietly, locked her out of the equity, set the terms so the penalties for early cash out would crush any attempt she had to claim value on her way out. Second, I removed her name from every account we opened together, slowly. One every few weeks. Just enough to avoid alerts. By the time she realized it, she wasn't tied to anything but the couch she left behind. Maya wasn't playing small either. She met with her accountant and a private investigator. Rob's business had been using their joint credit line to cover vendor invoices. Technically legal, morally filthy. Maya froze the account. Froze his cards. Froze his access. He came home one day and couldn't even pay for gas. "What the hell is going on?" he texted her. "You wanted freedom. This is what it costs." We weren't just cleaning house. We were erasing them. Digitally, legally, financially. They thought they'd broken 2 people. Instead, they created one team that understood how to dismantle everything. Then came the social collapse. Danny's gym friends dropped her. Rob's weekend poker group removed him from the invite thread. Someone, maybe Maya, sent screenshots of the backyard camera footage to the HOA anonymous tip line. Their names were brought up at the next meeting. Not kindly. We weren't loud. We didn't post. Didn't gloat. We just moved. Quietly. Efficiently. Maya came over one night with Chinese takeout and a stack of envelopes. Divorce filings. Property transfers. Photos of Rob with other women, from before the affair even started. "He was cheating on me before he even met your wife," she said. I took a deep breath. They deserve each other. They don't even have each other anymore. She paused, then laid something else on the table. A proposal. Not romantic. Business. You're good with systems. I'm good with people. What if we took all this energy we've spent surviving and built something useful? "You mean a company?" "I mean a future." She wasn't smiling. She was serious. And I'd never been more sure that whatever we built now would be 10 times stronger than what they ever pretended to have. This wasn't about rebound. This was real alignment. No lies. No performance. Just 2 people who knew exactly what betrayal looked like and how to build something untouchable in its place. It started with a text. Not to Danny. Not to Rob. To a mutual friend. The one who always played neutral. Always said, "I don't take sides." Maya sent him a link. Just one. "Share this with whoever needs to see it. We're done staying quiet." The link led to a private folder. Inside, for curated files. 1. The backyard footage. Time-stamped clips showing Danny sneaking into Rob's house while both spouses were working late. 2. Financial statements. Copies of Rob's business charges hitting Maya's personal cards, with vendor invoices attached. 3. Screenshots, flirty messages, hotel confirmations, Synced calendar events Danny never realized backed up to our shared iCloud. 4. A silent video, Maya and I, laughing at the same barbecue where Rob and Danny had made their last public appearance together. Her hand on my chest. Danny's face in the background, watching. The friend messaged back. Holy Jesus. By that evening, the folder had made the rounds. The group chat that once hosted weekend plans and dinner invites lit up like wildfire. Screenshots. Reactions. Silence. Then exits. Rob and Danny weren't blocked. They were abandoned. Danny posted first. A black screen on her Instagram story with a white caption. I guess some people never stop being bitter. 10 minutes later, someone posted a comment. Girl, you cheated. What did you expect? She deleted her account within the hour. Rob tried to fight back. He sent Maya an email. You had no right to go public. That was private. Maya replied with 2 lines. Like my marriage. And you f***ed it up too. That weekend, we went to the same restaurant where Rob once made a toast speech. Maya wore a deep red dress. I wore the watch Danny gave me for our 3rd anniversary. Fitting. The waiter who used to serve the 4 of us gave us a long, knowing nod. You 2 together now? Something like that. You're better off. He wasn't wrong. After dinner, we walked past Rob's new apartment. Small. Bland. Rental. He was on the balcony, shirtless, drinking straight from a bottle of whiskey. Saw us. Froze. Maya didn't even blink. She just slipped her arm through mine and kissed my cheek like he was invisible. He went inside without a word. That was all we needed. That night, Maya texted me something simple. He lost everything. I replied. So did she. And us. We never lost. We learned. It didn't happen overnight. We weren't suddenly in love, dancing barefoot through fields. We were 2 people still bruised, still pissed off, but awake. And finally, undeniably aligned. The business idea we joked about? It became real. Started small, a consulting side hustle. Maya had corporate background in HR. I handled ops and back-end systems. We offered one thing, exit strategy architecture. For people stuck in toxic relationships, partnerships, and careers who needed a clean way out without setting their life on fire. We packaged everything we'd learned. How to separate assets without starting war. How to document betrayal, legally. How to control the narrative when the other person starts rewriting history. In 6 months, we had 20 clients. In a year, we were booked out 2 quarters ahead. One client said, "You 2 aren't just smart. You're surgical." She was right. Because we didn't teach revenge. We taught leverage. Our reputation grew. People who once whispered about our drama started asking us for advice. A couple from 2 blocks over, the same one who used to double date with Rob and Danny, hired us to help restructure their business partnership after an ugly fallout. No awkwardness. Just respect. Maya and I didn't rush into labels. There were no "will you be mine" conversations. We were just us. Partners in business. Partners in damage control. Partners in every way that mattered. She moved in after 9 months. No drama. No discussion. Just started waking up at my place more than hers. One day I handed her a key. She tossed it in her purse without saying anything. It didn't need to be said. Meanwhile, Danny went quiet. Word was she moved in with an older guy, someone from her gym. Someone with a condo and a trust fund. Rebound number 3. Her Instagram came back online, full of forced wellness quotes and blurry selfies. She tried to launch a podcast. It lasted 4 episodes. All comments were turned off. Rob filed for bankruptcy. Lost his last vendor. His truck got repossessed. He now rents tools from the same hardware store he once laughed at for being too low-end. Every so often, Maya and I take walks past their old haunts. Not to gloat. Just to remind ourselves of the line we crossed and the field we now own on the other side. We weren't just healed. We were evolved. Not broken. Not afraid. Just done pretending people like them deserve to be forgiven for free. It came on a Wednesday. Plain envelope. No return address. Left in my mailbox like a ghost walking back through the ruins. Inside, a handwritten note. Danny, I saw you 2 the other night. You looked different. I guess I just wanted to say I'm sorry. I hope you're happy. There was no ask. No plea for reconciliation. No, can we talk, at the end. Just that. I folded it once, dropped it in the shredder, and got back to work. Because forgiveness isn't required for closure. Sometimes, the cleanest ending is no reply. Later that week, Maya and I signed the lease for our office space. Corner lot. Downtown. Glass front. Black brick. Clean logo on the window. Exit strategy: tactical solutions for emotional damage. Below it. Founders: M. Carter plus T. Reeves. 2 names. Side by side. Equal weight. Rob drove by the day we moved furniture in. Didn't stop. But I saw the look in his eyes, the hollow one. The one men wear when they realize they backed the wrong play and can't buy the reset button anymore. We didn't wave. We didn't need to. We host seminars now. Real ones. Workshops on documentation, power dynamics, how to read the warning signs before the damage gets permanent. One woman cried in the hallway after our first session. "Thank you," she said. "I thought I was crazy." Maya looked at her and smiled. "You're not crazy. You were just alone. Now you're not." Every time I see her hold that room, I remember the night she handed me that whiskey bottle and said, "What are you going to do about it?" And now, here we are. Not just surviving. Profiting. Not from pain. From the lessons pain forces you to learn. Danny? She's just a story now. Rob? He's a cautionary tale. Us? We're the ones who stayed quiet. Until it was time to speak. Final line. They tried to use us. Now we bill for the blueprint.